Hi everyone, welcome to my channel and welcome back. I'm Jeannie, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you the March Coven combo by Sun and Moon Dips. So every month she comes out with a new Coven combo that's limited edition. So once they're sold out, they are gone for the month, and at the time I'm recording this, surprisingly, this combo is still available. So if it's still available by the time I upload this, run and go get it because it is so beautiful. I know a lot of people don't like green, but this isn't just any green. So the first color in the combo is Orphic, which is this amazing heavy shimmer. So look at the shimmer in this green. It is just so pretty. And it pairs with Mystical Garden, which is a combination of foils and glitters. So it's got green foils in there, pink and lavender hex glitters, as well as finer glitters in there, and they pair together so beautifully. And I also decided to throw in an older color, Wolf Moon, which is a heavy shimmer lavender color, and I just thought the three colors just went so well together. I also decided I wanted to do some color blocking in this mani because it's been a while since I've done it. So I'll use one of these sheets of stickers to help me with my color blocking. I wasn't really sure which one I wanted to use yet, so I'll decide that when I'm finished my dipping what I want to use for the color block. I'll also be using my double dipped dip liquids, which if you've been following me for a while, you know these are some of my go-to dip liquids. They never fail me. Since these are sample size jars, I'm going to be using my Dipp'd Chaos from Chaos Concepts. So these are flexible containers used to either do a French manicure or used for swatching. So what I found is that trying to manage these little sample jars, I find I'm always afraid that I'm going to drop them when I'm kind of picking them up and putting them down. So I just found it's easier for me to just dump the jars in my Dipp'd Chaos and use them that way. And that way I don't have to worry about messing with the jars. So I'm going to go ahead and pour all my powders into my Dipp'd Chaos. So I've got one for each color. I actually have a lot more than this because I use them so much. I love that they're just easily cleaned out. I just have to wipe them with a dust brush and they're all cleaned out. And then if they get extra dirty, I can just wash them with some warm soap and water, but I love that powders don't stick to them. So if you're looking for an alternative to cupcake liners, the disposable paper cupcake liners, or if you don't like the silicone cupcake liners because powders do stick to them, I definitely recommend using the Dipp'd Chaos. I'm starting by doing a dip of clear on my middle finger, and that's because I'm wearing peel base. And if I were to stick the tape directly on my peel base when I'm doing my color blocking, once I pull up the tape, it would pull up my peel base, which I don't want to happen. So my clear dip is going to protect my peel base so that I can put the sticker on, do my color block, and still not impact my peel base. You could also just do a layer of dip base on top of your peel base and wait for that to dry, and that would work the same. But sometimes I get a little impatient and I'd rather just do a dip of clear than waiting for my dip base to dry. I'm not going to activate my clear or anything. I'm just going to go ahead and move on to my next color. So I'll be starting with Wolf Moon because I always like to do lightest from darkest. So Wolf Moon being my lavender color. And I think this is my first time using this, and I don't even know why because it is so beautiful. I absolutely love it. And if you can see the sheen on my finger, that definitely means that it's probably chromable, which I'll definitely have to try Wolf Moon again and chrome it because it just looks so pretty. And this is just one dip. Look at the full coverage you get with that one dip. I do end up doing 2 full dips just because that's my normal process and I'm a creature of habit, but you could get away with one. But I do that second dip off camera just so we could get to the color blocking a little bit quicker. I figured since I already had all my dips poured out, I would just go ahead and continue with my first dips of the shimmers before going in with my second dip. Normally I do one color at a time, but normally it's just opening the jar, closing the jar, and then moving on. But since they're all poured out, I might as well go ahead. So I'm moving on to my first dip of Orphic, and this is the shimmer green that's in the Coven combo. And just look at how beautiful that shimmer is. This isn't just your ordinary green. And there is kind of a sheen on my skin as well, so I think this may also be chromable. So same thing, full coverage in one dip, which is just amazing. I do end up doing 2 dips, both on my pinky and thumb, but I'm going to do my second dip off camera. I do also want to mention that the Coven combo was gifted to me as an ambassador for Sun and Moon dips, but I wouldn't share with you something that I didn't absolutely love. And so you can use my ambassador code Genie10 to save 10% off your orders. I think it's a minimum of $10 for your order, and it excludes merchandise and bundles. So I believe it doesn't apply to the Coven combo. Don't quote me on that. But if you see anything else you love on the website, feel free to use that code. I don't get anything from it. It's just savings for you. I decided to do a straight color black down the center of my middle nail, so I'm going to use this sticker. If I can find where I got them from, I'll link them down below in the description, but for the life of me, I can't remember where I got them, but if I think of it, I will link them for you. So I'm just going to grab one of those stickers, and then this is the worst part. I have the hardest time finding the middle of my nail, and that's because I have crooked fingers, but I'm going to try to put it down the center of my nail, or at least as center as I can find it, because every time I think I have it, it still ends up being a little bit off. So that's what the clear dip was for. It's going to protect my peel base. So once I've got that, I think where I want it, I can adjust it as needed. So that's the good thing about these stickers is it's not stuck once you put it down. So once I've got that adjusted where I want it, then I'm going to make sure to press down firmly because I don't want any gaps, because I don't want the dip base to seep into where the tape is. So I'm going to press down pretty firmly just to make sure there aren't any gaps. For the color blocking, I'm going to use both Wolf Moon and Orphic for the right and left side of that tape. So I'm going to start on the left side of the tape, and I'm going to dip that into Wolf Moon because that's the side closest to my full Wolf Moon nail. So I apply a layer of dip base. It's okay if you apply a little bit on the tape. You just don't want to go over the tape. And the more you go over it, the harder it may be to peel off. So you just want to be careful when you're applying your dip base. But obviously that's a smaller place for your brush to be. So just dipped that into Wolf Moon, and then I'm going to go in with a second layer. So I'll do 2 dips of Wolf Moon, and then I will do the same thing for Orphic on the right side of my nail. once you're done with your second dip, you want to go ahead and remove that tape before your dip base dries. Now you want to do this slowly because if you rip it right off, you could take the dip with it because your base is still wet. So what I'm doing now is I just want to clean up the lines a little bit. So I've got this flat end of my cuticle pusher and the dip base is still a little bit wet. So I do have the opportunity to just crisp up that line a little bit more before I go in with my glitter. So I'll be using Mystical Garden down the center of my nail and I'll do a little ombre with that. So now that I've got that cleaned up, this is the hardest part. I'm taking kind of the skinny end of the dip base brush. So I've kind of got it sideways rather than flat, if that makes sense. And I'm just applying my dip base to that center of my nail where there's no dip. And I'm taking my eyeshadow brush and I'm just gently tap ombreing it down the center of my nail where the dip base is. So it's not going to be the full length of my nail with the glitter. It's just going to be a little above halfway because I want it to have that kind of ombre look to it. While that's drying, I'm going to go ahead and do a full dip of Mystical Garden on my ring finger. So I'm just going to lay my finger flat into the dip just because I already have it poured out. So normally for this kind of dip, for my first layer, I would pour over, and then for my second layer, I would lay in. But I didn't feel like messing with the small jars, so I decided just to lay in. And I did pick up just a couple of those chunky glitters, but they are loose. So I just went ahead and knocked them off, and then I will do a little bit of glitter placement if I need it after my second dip. Instead of a second pass at the ombre on my middle finger, I decided it would just be easier to do a little bit of glitter placement just because there's such small real estate to work with down the center of my nail. So I apply a thin layer of dip base down the center, same way I did before with my brush sideways. So I dip my orange wood stick into that wet dip base, and that's going to help me pick up the individual pieces of glitter. And I'm just going to kind of place them where I want them. I don't want it to look too neat, so I'm just going to kind of scatter them a little bit and get larger pieces and smaller pieces just to fill up that area a little bit more. I decided at the last minute I wanted to use some striping stickers to clean up my color blocking a little bit because I wasn't happy with my lines, and I love that striping stickers kind of mask that. So these striping stickers are from iGel Beauty. I highly recommend them. They're a lot more user-friendly than striping tape, because striping tape I want to throw out the window because it is so frustrating, but these stickers are so easy to use and they stick where you put them. So I'm just going to apply a little bit of that tape to, or stickers to each side of that color block, and then we'll go ahead and encapsulate and clear, activate, file and buff, all that fun stuff. Thank goodness for the magic of editing. So I went ahead and filed and buffed off camera. So now we're ready to get into our top coat. So I'm going to apply my final layer of activator to all my nails. It's just going to be one thin layer on all my nails. I will wait 2 minutes and then I'm going to go in with my dip top coat, and then we can finish off this mani. I did my second layer of dip top coat off camera, so now I'm ready to rehydrate my cuticles. So I'm using scales of a Mermaid Sweet Nothing, and this is from the Give Me Smooch box back in February, and it is chocolate strawberry, and it is so good. Like, this cuticle oil really makes me hungry. And here we are with the finished look. What do you think? I can't even believe this Coven combo isn't sold out yet. It is so beautiful and it just screams spring to me, like flowers blooming with like the green and the pink and the purple. So I just wanted to show you that you had other options to pair it with if you didn't like a whole lot of green. It looks really great with the lavender. You could pair it with pink. There are just so many options with this combo. So I hope this video was helpful. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, I'd appreciate if you gave this video a thumbs up. It lets me know to continue creating content like this, and it also helps YouTube recommend me to others, which helps grow my channel. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. I upload content every Monday and Thursday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. As always, I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.